Back on Get Up, and the action yesterday was actually quite interesting in the fourth quarter between the Knicks and the Lakers at Madison Square Garden, which was a ridiculously unimportant game, and yet this was kind of interesting. So the Knicks were down 3, and LeBron James was looking to put his team comfortably ahead, and he is blocked on the play by DeAndre Jordan, and we're going the other way, and Emmanuel Mudiay is going to find Damian Dotson. He's going to lay it in. It's a one-point game. Take another look as you'll see DeAndre getting up there and getting just a finger on it, but it's enough. Jordan also had 15 points and 17 rebounds. The Knicks are down 1. Now the Lakers are up 1. LeBron blocked by Hazonia. Shot comes up short. James really struggled. He missed 11 shots in the fourth quarter. And here's the big one. Down 1. Final seconds. Stuffed. I mean stuffed on the final play by Hazonia. LeBron finishing what was a tough fourth quarter with a very tough moment, and the Knicks come away with a win, 124-123. So that's what happened in the fourth quarter. In the first quarter, the cameras catch LeBron sitting at the end of the bench during a timeout, and Knicks broadcaster and Hall of Famer Clyde Frazier didn't like it.
You're the face of the NBA. I think you should be more a part of your team, folks. No matter what is going on. In the public, you got to be a part of the team. Maybe in the locker room, you're not, but you have to exude that type of togetherness in public, folks. And right now, we see he doesn't really care.
So that's Walt Frazier. This is Stephen A. Smith, who, like me, grew up loving Walt Frazier. Yeah. Just to put that out there. He's Damon Jones, who played with and coached LeBron, and you took umbrage with those comments from Clyde. Why?
Well, it's not just Clyde. It's everybody. The Lakers are not doing well this year. You know, LeBron is, hasn't played well, the whole season since he's been back. So I can understand when you talk about basketball things. My problem, Stephen A., is when you start talking about the character issues. Not a good teammate, okay? He's a coach killer and all these different things that everybody's been saying the last 3-4 months that I've been watching, and I'm not happy.
Well, first of all, a couple of things. Number one, you need to qualify or look up the definition of the word everybody. That includes everybody. That means nobody feels differently. Nobody feels the same as you do. And I'm here to tell you you're wrong, because I feel exactly the way that you feel. I think that it's very incredibly irresponsible, the kind of comments that Clyde Frazier stated. I've known Clyde for many, many years, love him. But those were some incredibly irresponsible statements on his part. Let's take this into consideration. You're listening to a guy right now who has been very critical of LeBron James from time to time. I can talk to him about, the lean in, the fall away jump shot, his unwillingness to get to the free throw line. When you say stuff about his teammates, what are the words that I couch it with? This is what people have said. I don't sit up there and attach validation to it, because I'm looking at a 3-time champion, a 4-time league MVP. This man was once on the cover of Sports Illustrated as a 17-year-old, and the only thing that you could say about him in his career, character-wise, is, the decision wasn't handled right. That's it. The Lakers ain't going anywhere this year. This man is on the court playing 35 minutes, drops 33 points, is balling. I'm sorry, it's an off year, particularly since he's been back from injury. Before he got injured, they were a top 4 seed. I had them going to the conference finals. Remember that. They get hurt. He gets hurt. They snowball. The man is still averaging 27 a game. Let's take this stuff into consideration. Talks to the media all the time, post-game, conducts himself like a consummate professional, is an incredible role model. There's something along the way. Even with me, I'll say something, somebody has a criticism of me, and I'm like, oh, fine, that's cool. Look at my resume. Look at what I've done since I've been in this business and how many years I've been in this business and the terrain that I had to endure. Well, guess what? You can elevate that 100 times when it comes to LeBron. Look at this man's resume. Yeah. I can sit up there and say LeBron wants to control the narrative. I can say something like that because, you know what, that's all right, because it's true. Right. Also, because he likes to control the narrative. Sometimes he's a bit sensitive to comments, and he's passive-aggressive in how he responds to them. Those are fair criticisms, but that's it. I'm telling you right now, as a guy that's been covering the NBA for over 20 years, and a guy that's been in the world of sports, broadcasting and sports reporting for 25 years, this man is a quintessential role model. He does not deserve what is happening to him right now, where you got people looking at every little thing to attack his character, when we have loads of evidence and loads of instances where we see of athletes who are getting paid mega dollars that don't know how to act. That has never been LeBron James in his career.
Fair.
It's wrong.
No debating that. Now, there's a couple of things, however, that have come up this season. He has had issues with coaches in the past. There's no question of that. Sure. Ask David Blatt. Ask Eric Spoelstra. Sure. Those things have happened before. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's had problems with David Blatt, but that's not why David Blatt got fired. David Griffin, the GM at the time, went on record saying that the team under David Blatt at that particular time was not going to get it done. That was David Griffin's decision. That had nothing to do with LeBron James.
Well, there's two sides to that. Number one, it's never that simple because when you're the mega star, the magnitude of a LeBron James, you do have an impact. But what David Griffin didn't tell y'all, and what Damon will nod his head in agreement with, David Griffin never wanted David Blatt. That was a Dan Gilbert move. David Griffin had always wanted Ty Lue.
Man.
Dan Gilbert wanted David Blatt and made Griffin hire David Blatt. David Blatt was never desired by Griffin. Griffin wanted Ty Lue all along. When you had Ty Lue, you won a championship and went to 3 straight NBA finals. That's the guy David Griffin wanted, which is why he's so respected throughout NBA circles, because we all know that David Griffin knows how to be a damn executive.
So that's not about, but to your point, it's not about LeBron.
Right.
And then, Sean, there are people in L.A., and we hear it in the fans, maybe it's just the fans, but who do not believe that LeBron's primary motivation in coming to Los Angeles was about the Lakers and about winning championships.
No, they believe it's about his empire, and it's building towards the next 20, 30 years of his life. And maybe part of that is true, but when you watch him play on the floor, and this is going back to both of your points, to me, there has never been a player that has come into the NBA with the level of expectations that LeBron James had placed on his shoulders and actually exceeded it. Look, Michael, when he came into the league, didn't have the expectations that he was going to be the king when he showed up. Kobe certainly did not have those expectations coming out of high school. LeBron James did. He's exceeded it in every way, shape, and form, which is why he's become a guy that people want to question. He's been sitting at that seat all year.
Let me tell you. Let me give you some ammunition that people could get on LeBron James about. LeBron James is considered to be, on the Mount Rushmore of basketball. He's one of the greatest players to have ever played this game, top 5 easy. There's nothing to question about that. Because you don't say he's number 1, there's a level of sensitivity. Because you'll sit up there and critique, you know what, you look a little bit afraid to go to the free throw line, or you should have took that shot. Again, he's not going to come in your face and go off on you about it, but him, along with his crew, from time to time can be sensitive about it. That is it. There is nothing else to complain about LeBron James.
What I'd like to button this conversation here, you had dinner with him last night. If you were watching, Damon say you had dinner with him here in the city last night.
Thanks
Where
for the
is
invite.
his head now, by the way? Like there's been a real long year, a tough year, a disappointing year. Where is his head right now?
It's been a tough season, and all he's talking about now is getting better for next year. And he was with 6 teammates who they said he was trying to run out of town. Okay, listen, if you have an opportunity to get Anthony Davis, one of the top 5 players in the game, you're going to do whatever you can to get him. Okay, no one said anything about the fact that he wanted Kevin Love when he got to Cleveland, when he came back to Cleveland. You know what he sacrificed for Kevin Love?
Andrew Wiggins?
Andrew Wiggins,
right.
The number 1 pick in that draft. And what happened? They went to the finals 4 years, won an NBA championship.
Yeah,
so it is what it is.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is those are fans. There are people in L.A. because whether it's because of Laker tradition, it's because of Kobe or whatever the case may be, you have people who feel like he's there for Hollywood instead of the Lakers. Yep. What I'm saying to you is you have an obligation, Mr. Damon Jones, to differentiate between the media and the fans. You can't sit up there and say everybody, because there's a whole bunch of people that don't attach any credence to that. And my last point would be this. Rich Paul, the Maverick Carters of the world, the crew, it's not necessarily LeBron sometimes, and I'm getting on them because they're friends of mine. They're overly sensitive from time to time. They're the ones that'll sit back and be like this, man, this is a 3-time champion. This is a 4-time league MVP. Oh, this is a bad season. But you know what? Hey, we're playing with house money. It's all right. So that will give the impression that, oh, excuse me, do you care enough? Now, that's ridiculous because, of course, LeBron cares. But when you have people who have this insatiable appetite to protect him at all costs, where you try to diminish any kind of argument that will be placed against him, you incriminate him more because you're making
No,
such an
no.
unnecessary case.
There
I'm
is
not saying it's
nothing I
legitimate.
wanna do
I'm
less
not saying
than
it's
break this
legitimate.
up.
I'm
But
just saying that's what they can do from time to time. And you're guilty of that too, Damon Jones.
All
But
I'm
I'll deal with
saying
you on
is-
first take. I'll deal with you on first take.
The first take people are screaming in my ear because you
right.
have to go over there.
That's right. And
because
I will
First Take
deal with him
starts
on
live
first take.
in
Make
8
sure
minutes.
they watch.
They'll continue
Make sure
to
they
debate.
watch.
I'll deal with you over there.